Hey, welcome back to the Closing Room AZ. I'm your host, Jesse Moreno, realtor, investor, and coach. And of course, I'm your straight shooter for all kind of information here and real estate related here in the city of Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, if you're thinking about buying a house, thinking about selling, you're trying to figure out what's going on in this crazy world of real estate, got to hit me up. Give me a call, shoot me a text, hit me with an email, whatever works best for you. Because in this particular show, it's all about straight talk, zero fluff. It's all about real strategies that we're currently using in this market. So make sure that you stay engaged, all right? Don't leave this channel because we got a special guest coming on pretty soon. And we're going to be talking about Mortgage 101, so it's going to be super exciting. So stay on it. Hey, quick shout out as well to Driggs Title. Driggs Title's been around for a bit, since 2007. They're in Arizona and Nevada. They've done over 207,000 transactions and growing. So that speaks volumes about them. Hey, give them a call. Best way to reach them, 602-796-2029. Ask for Ignacio Ochoa. He is the business development manager. So give him a call, and he'll take care of you. And when you do give him a call, let him know that you heard about him here at the Closing Room AZ. And one more time, take a look at your screen. There's a QR code. Take a picture of it, snap it. It's all my information, all my personal way to contact me. It's the best way to get a hold of me. Save it on your phone, and love to help you out in the near future. So, all right, well, we're going to jump right into it. Today, we're going to kick off a very special 3-part series I've been working, that I kind of actually been waiting for a while. And I've got this special guest. He's going to talk about Mortgage 101. He's going to walk you through a lot of good stuff, right? We're going to talk about financing. We're going to talk about pre-approvals, what a pre-approval is, and maybe perhaps the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualified letter. So I want you guys to be educated on that. He's going to talk about debt-to-income ratio, right? What causes your deals to get frozen in the process. So you guys got to stick around and listen to that information. He's going to talk to you about how to fix your credit, or just give you some guidance on what you need to do to boost up your credit score. Because in this business, when you're ready to buy a house or refinance, whatever the case may be, you need to have that information in line. And so this particular person that I've got here on my show, he's going to guide you through that. And let me tell you, he works for a company right now called Barrett Financial Group. They're here based in Arizona, one of the top lenders in the area. So we got our special guest today, Mr. Ben Salcido. Ben, welcome to the Closing Room AZ.
Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate it. Glad to be here. This is obviously a topic I'm really passionate about. Been in the business for, about 6 years now. And I feel like people tend to kind of spend more time picking out their appliances and understanding their mortgage, So I'm just happy to be here, and I feel like that's something that needs to change. So definitely happy to be giving out some information and seeing how we can get through this podcast.
All right, cool. Well, hey, man, we are going to break down. I got some questions for you, and I want the audience to know a little bit about you and about the company and so forth. And so I'm going to drive you through some questions. I'm going to open it up. And just so my listeners know, Ben is one of the senior mortgage agents or advisors for Barrett Financial Group. So you guys are going to in good hands when it comes down to some knowledge and some good educational information. So let's start off with the first question that I really want to kind of dig in a little deeper, because I need the audience to know is Barrett Financial Group. Right? What makes them different from your traditional banks? And who is Barrett Financial Group?
Well, that's a great question. Barrett Financial Group is a licensed mortgage lender based in Gilbert, Arizona. We're not a big box bank, but we are a mortgage broker, meaning that we have access to a ton of different loan products. I mean, we're talking anywhere from conventional FHA, VA, USDA, jumbo, hard money, DSCR, anything that you can possibly think of, we do. Land loans. Something that most people don't know that we do is we do not mobile homes, but
Manufactured
homes.
All right.
On lease land.
You do?
We do.
That's crazy, because not everyone does.
No, not everyone does.
Is that something new you guys just started doing?
No, not something new. I mean, something that we've had in our box. I mean, it's just not something people typically do, but that is something that we also do as well. So just a ton of different programs. I mean, like I said, anything you need, bridge loans, construction loans, we do.
Okay, cool. There's a lot of stuff in your guys' wheelhouse as far as products. And when I did a little bit of research, I was kind of amazed with everything you guys have to offer to the buyer or to a person's homeowner looking to refinance, whatever the case may be. I mean, you guys got a lot of products, man. But since this is Mortgage 101, we're going to break it down. And I want to make sure that as we throw out some acronyms here, like when we say DTI,
Yes, sir.
or we throw out a product, an FHA, let them know what that means, right? I think it's important that you guys know so that you guys are well educated in this, because not everybody knows what a DTI may be, or LTV. And I'm not going to get away and tell you what that means. I'm going to let Ben tell you that because he's the expert. So in the simplest terms, what is a mortgage, man?
I mean, in the simplest terms, man, a mortgage is a loan you take out to buy real estate. That's pretty much what it is. As simple as that. The property itself acts as collateral, meaning that if you stop making payments, the lender has a right to go ahead and take that home back.
Right.
But as long as you continue to make your payments on time, you know, you're building equity and working towards your owning your home outright, which is obviously where we want to be, right? A big investment. One of the quickest ways to get rich, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's one thing about, and I don't want to sidetrack too far, but I always tell people that I know that are, particularly if they're renting, I'm like, hey, let's get you into a home, because when you're renting, you're not building any value for the future. You're making somebody else rich. You know, you're paying somebody else's mortgage. But if you're a renter, I got to tell you, reach out to a lender, reach out to Ben here. Let's get you pre-qualified. Let's get you into a home. You'd be surprised how easy it is to get qualified, and he'll guide you through some parameters, right? So you know, and if you're not 100% sure, you're thinking, no, I don't make the income, or maybe my credit score is not there, whatever the case may be. On this particular show, because it is a 3-part series, we're going to break these things down, and we're going to give you that information. But I always tell people, listen, man, let's get you out of the renting. Let's get you into a property, because it's not that difficult, and people get sometimes. I think maybe first-time buyers are a little nervous and scared and thinking, maybe I don't want to. I don't know, but let's move you into that, and I'd really love to help you out to do that. Here in Arizona, there's a lot of opportunity. So let's talk about the loan types, right? What should people know going into it as a first-time buyer?
Sure. Well, I mean, I think that you hit it right in the head when you were talking about first-time buyers. What I always typically like to say is that when you're renting, you're paying 100% interest, right? So
Right.
I get a lot of people that talk about interest rates and wanting to wait till they go down and things of that sort before they purchase a home. So I always like to tell first-time buyers that it's always a good time to buy a home, because it's always a good time to start investing in yourself, for one, right? But there are plenty of different loan types. I mean, most buyers are going to be first-time home buyers are typically going to go with an FHA loan, which is a government-backed loan. Typically, the reason why they do that is because you do have down payment assistance. So most first-time home buyers don't necessarily have that 3.5% to put down, or 3% to put down when they first enter into a home. And I say 3% to put down because conventional, as a first-time home buyer, you do require at least 3% down.
Right.
So, I mean, those are a couple of different types of loan products that you typically start out with. You also do have your VA loan for anyone that's been in the service. Thank you for your service. Sincerely appreciated, which gets 100% financing. So these are the most common out there currently at the moment.
All right. Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned conventional.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
yes, sir.
And we're going to dive into a little bit about the down payments and different insurances that are covered or provide, not covered, I guess is added to a particular transaction when you're going FHA or conventional with a certain percentage down payment that you put. And we'll talk about that in a little bit because I think that's also important for people to know. You mentioned FHA, right?
Yes, sir.
Would you say that kind of seems to be the trend right now? Like what's working best right now here in Arizona for a first-time buyer?
As of right now, yeah, I would say FHA is going to be the best right now. Just due to the rates are being a little bit lower currently at the moment. Yes, you do have mortgage insurance on regardless whether you're going conventional or FHA, but it tends to be a little bit lower of a payment. I mean, obviously, I don't think that there's any one shoe fits all when it comes to a first-time home buyer, but the trend is right now FHA.
FHA?
Yes.
All right. No, that's good to know, man. And you know, and this is absolutely for home buyers, but for my investor friends out there in this business, we also have a program called the DSCR. DSCR,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Stands for what? Debt Service Coverage Ratio.
Correct. Yep.
I'm gonna jump the gun here because I like to really get involved as I throw some of these things out there. So yeah, the Debt Service Coverage Ratio is a DSCR program out there for your investors. So listen, if you're looking to buy a property, got to give them a call as well, because that's one of those deals where you really don't have to come in with any money.
No. Not at
right?
all. Not at all. Yeah, those are actually pretty solid deals. I mean, ultimately, the rent that you're going to be accumulating from the property is typically what takes care of the mortgage payment and gets you qualified there. So yeah, definitely a good product as
Yeah,
well.
for sure. I haven't. As an investor myself, I was talking to a buddy of mine. He's like, "You got to use this program, Jesse." I mean, and I work with different. As an investor, I also work without my own private money. I work with hard money lenders and stuff like that. And when he was telling me a little bit about this program a while back, I was like, "Yeah, this is one program. Why not take advantage of it and use it?
Yeah,
It's a great way, and you don't have to be a first-time home buyer or something like that. You could jump right into it if you're looking to invest into properties. That's a great program, and obviously give Ben a call because he's going to guide you through that with that information. So, all right, let's dive into pre-approvals and why does it matter so much, a pre-approval.
sure. Yeah, I think that pre-approvals are obviously going to be one of the most important things you're getting as a first-time home buyer. I think that who you're getting your pre-approval from as well is really going to be very important. Most of the time, you get a pre-approval. Sometimes there's lenders out there that don't necessarily do their underwriting up front, and they'll just give you a pre-approval. You get out there, and all of a sudden you put an offer on a home and can't close on that home. Myself, I tend to do all my underwriting up front. So typically what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and take all your documentation up front. I'm going to verify that documentation prior to giving you a pre-approval out there. But basically what that is a commitment from us that I've reviewed your financial profile. And that we're willing to lend up to the amount, obviously, that is going to be preset on that documentation.
Yeah, for sure.
Sir.
And what documentations at that point? Then what documentations do you need a process to start that process for your pre-approval?
So when we're looking at documentation, we're looking at 60 days bank statements. We're looking at the last 30 days of pay stubs. We're looking at your driver's license. We're also looking at your W-2s or your 1099s, really depending on if you're self-employed or if you're going to be a W-2 employee.
All right, cool.
Yes, sir.
And let me share this with you guys as well. I think it's important to listeners to understand the difference between. I know we mentioned pre-approval, pre-approval, and then there's pre-qualification. There's
Correct.
a pre-qual letter,
Yep.
right? I love the pre-approvals because you're providing all the upfront information, and it's a much more reliable and valid pre-approval when you're submitting a deal, especially for realtors. When we go to the table on a submission, on an offer, we want something that's solid, man. We don't want something that says, well, you've been pre-qualified based on the information that you told me, Mr. Buyer, right? We don't want that, I don't want to go off of that because that deal could fall apart if they can't provide what they say they may be, they may have, right? But with the pre-approval, you're asking for, upfront all these information. I need W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements, right? Any supporting documentation to support what they have.
Correct.
In addition to, you're running the credit report, the credit score, so you know where the credit score is, so you know exactly where they qualify for and so forth based on that credit and stuff like that. Let me throw something else at you because I think it's also important as people are getting these pre-approvals that and they're out there shopping. We don't want their deals to fall apart, right? So what would you say are some of the deals that could kind of kill that pre-approval?
Well, credit for one, if we're not taking your credit up front, I mean, we don't know where you're at, then obviously that's a big stick in the mud, right? I mean, we don't know what you really qualify for, what pricing kind of looks like. Pricing is obviously different based on different credit scores, not only that, but different programs, right? So say that we are qualifying you with the DPA and you're at a 620 and it's a 660, 680 for the DPA that we're currently looking at, obviously that's another red flag there. 2 years job history obviously is going to be something that we're looking for. Want to ensure that you've been employed for the last 2 years, regardless if that's 1099 to W-2 or W-2 to W-2, what have you. A lot of people think that, when you go 1099 to W-2, you have to wait 2 years. That's not necessarily the case. You can go 1099 to W-2. You just can't go W-2 to 1099.
Okay.
So several different things that you kind of want to look for. Yeah.
All right. That's that's a good point, man. People, they go from being self-employed to a W-2, and they're like, okay, well, if they got the income W-2, we get a letter from the employer, something that says they're, guaranteed or have their job solid for a year. It's easier to work with. But when you go from a W-2 employee straight to a 1099 self-employed, it's a game changer.
Yeah,
we
just
don't,
a little bit.
Right? Because we don't know exactly what you're going to qualify for. And, it's a little bit tougher. And I've been down that road with some clients where like, hey, I was working here, but now I'm going to go I'm going to do construction, and I'm getting paid 1099. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a little bit more difficult now because we don't have the history of that income. We don't know what you're going to be making, right?
Correct.
So it's a little bit more difficult. What's the number one mistake you see buyers make when they're getting ready to apply for a loan?
Well, I would say just not taking the first step and getting pre-qualified or pre-approved. I think that's the biggest mistake they have. It's a preconceived notion that, I'm not ready, or I don't have enough income, or I don't qualify. I think, to be honest, it hinders a lot of people from actually just going ahead and speaking with the lender and actually getting the pre-approval. I think that's the biggest issue that I see.
I mean, would you say as well, and I was thinking the other day with one of my clients, I mean, they're like, hey, I need to get pre-approved. I'm kind of telling them, look, when you get pre-approved, make sure you're not doing the following things, right? Make sure you're not opening up more credit or something.
Sure. Yeah,
right?
that definitely could be a factor as well. I mean, if you're opening up too much new credit, that can definitely be a factor. I think it's always best just to talk to obviously your lender, and just figure out where you're at prior to doing anything. Taking on too much debt, planning to buy a house, and going and putting yourself in more debt, or buying a new vehicle or something of that sort prior to. It's never a good idea.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So I think just having a conversation, getting the application in, getting a professional look at it, and just seeing exactly where you're at and moving forward. But the biggest mistake I see is people putting in their head that, hey, I can't do this.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I see that a lot. And again, I'm gonna harp on this a lot because I think it's important especially for renters, first-time buyers that are just nervous about getting a home. Jump into it, speak to your lender, get pre-qualified, and you'll know exactly what you qualify for. And you, believe it or not, I think most of the time you'll realize that payment is sometimes less than your rent, what you pay for rent.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it where they're like, I can't believe my mortgage payment is less than I pay for rent, and now I own something. I own something that's mine that's going to create some wealth down the road. It's going to create value and equity. And I mean, there's so many possibilities here. But you're right. People, they just get nervous and I don't think I qualify. I just don't want to make that call. Mm-hmm. So reach out and you got to make that call. Hey, right, Ben, thank you so much for sharing that information, man. That is some good info. I mean, we're just barely touching the tip of Mortgage 101. We're kind of laying the foundation for you guys so you guys know exactly a little bit about what mortgage is, what it means, and what applies in a mortgage transaction to get you pre-approved and so forth. Ben from Barrett Financial Group has today laid us the foundation as we starting to build Mortgage 101, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I appreciate that. Next week in part 2, we're going to dive a little deeper. We're going to talk about interest rates, how they work, what affects your interest, your rate, and how to avoid the biggest mistake buyers make when they're comparing loans. All right, so you guys don't want to miss it. You got to make sure you stick around and jump on our podcast number 2 we're going to be doing. And again, please make sure that if you guys want to follow me, click on that QR code ahead in front of you here on the screen, take a picture of it, grab my information, subscribe, like my channel. If you do that, you're not going to miss any of these episodes as they come up. And whether you have any questions or you want to work together with me as your realtor, just reach out to me. I'll keep you in the loop. Again, get that QR code, and you'll get right to me. Another thing here, you can find me on Instagram, and you can find me on the YouTube channel. It's called The Closing Room AZ. So again, if you have anything you want me to talk about, put it on the DM, and we'll keep that conversation going so that I can put that out there for you. Ben, how can people reach out to you or you and your team if they have any questions?
Yeah, I mean, you can find me on Barrett's website, Barrett Financial Group, Ben Salcido. You can also find me on Instagram at Living Ben's Life as well. Feel free to reach out, DM me on there. I also have a partner, Denise Abarca, as well, that you can reach out to as well. Right. We do handle Spanish and English, so bilingual team. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we got to get on the show on the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, this is The Closing Room AZ. I'm your host again, Jesse Moreno, where real conversations happen with real results, you guys. Thank you for being here. Have a blessed week, and remember, set no limits.